What is good? Back to the DailyXander number 100. Just finished up my workout, leaving the gym right now. Well, I left the gym about 5 minutes ago and currently in my travels. Right as I was walking out of the door, one of the ladies that also worked out stopped me and she saw that I'm wearing my Soccer Blast shirt and she just kind of pointed, "Is that what you do?" kind of thing. And I said, "That's one of my specialties, yes, that I do." And we got talking more, and her son, who is 17, plays soccer and baseball. And anyways, got down the story. He broke, she just pointed to the back of his leg or the back of his ankle, so, and she said broke, but if she pointed to the back, kind of his heel area, he might have pulled his Achilles or his soleus or something. But anyways, he did something to his ankle, and he essentially has a bad running form, or I told her gait, and I told her I'll look at a core I'm familiar with, and I know the proper gait mechanics. And anyways, exchanged information, so we'll see if she gets in touch with me about wanting me to work with her son. So that was pretty neat, and that's the beauty of wearing a piece of an item that essentially can market yourself. And it kind of goes back to perception is your reality. So you only have one time to make a first impression, and this is why in a lot of business deals it is recommended by so many people to obviously dress appropriate for the occasion. So at least the bare minimum, wear a suit, a tie, look very fancy of course, ready for business. Extravagant of course would be a 3-piece suit, something I do not have at the moment. Nice pocket watch, I suppose. It seems very classy. But yeah, you really only have a first time to make an impression. And so by me wearing something that says Soccer Blast training or certification, and on the back of it says soccer conditioning specialist, it definitely makes me stand out to other people. So it was neat. But yeah, a good solid workout, TOT training, total optimization training with specifically dumbbells, because I could do stuff with barbells, but I've found a lot of times it just seems like it's a lot easier for me to aggravate my shoulder when I do barbell work. So when I do single dumbbell work, so basically unilateral, so I just have one dumbbell in one arm at a time, it goes easier on my shoulder. A lot of times it's easier for me to, thanks my man, crossing the street right now saying thanks to a man, but it makes it a lot easier for me to kind of just also focus on making sure I don't aggravate my shoulder when I'm lifting that weight, opposed to if I use a barbell, it just a lot of times it just puts so much stress. And also my wrist, which my wrist has been doing a lot better, but for a while my wrist was just, I would say, strained all the time. It seemed like my left wrist, and I don't know if it was because I hyper extended it or not, or it might have been related to that, but I'm not totally positive. I mean, it's recovered well, but even when I do a lot of barbell work, on the past at least, it just always was easy for me to aggravate it. Well, it's not to say I'll never do barbell work again, of course, but just right now it's convenient and it's easier for me to work within the current specs of my body and not having to put my body in the kind of pain that would be bad pain. Not the pain you can grow from, but the pain that would just that harbors you from facilitating growth. So with that said, using dumbbells also focuses a lot more on stabilization. So like you see in the video that I just showed, that doing single legged, single shoulder press with the dumbbell definitely uses a lot more stabilization. As you can see, there's many times I had to put my foot that was up in the air back on the ground to restabilize myself, as it was very difficult, even with 50 pounds, just pressing 50 pounds, for me to be able to do that 4, 5, 6 reps consistently in a row without having to touch the ground with my foot that was in the air. And yeah, so a really enjoyable workout. You can definitely tell I probably should have ate a little more prior, just because I feel like I could have had more energy. I definitely had energy, but yeah, it's always a learning learning curve for me. In a while I was going to try and cross this really busy street when I can just go underground in the tunnel here. But yeah, in the last bit you saw that L-sit that I did, kind of windshield wiper L-sit. I'd say very gymnastic. I'm going to keep working more on my L-sits because I've found since doing them literally like the past 2 weeks, I feel my my right shoulder doesn't bug me as much as it has in the past. So I don't know the correlation behind that necessarily. Obviously, when you do an L-sit, it's taxing primarily your triceps, your chest, and a good portion of your shoulder, primarily going to be your anterior deltoid, and that's where I really feel the most pain in a lot of movements with my shoulder, but not the L-sit. And by doing the L-sit over the past 2 weeks, I don't have as much pain, so I'm going to keep doing it. And there's like a gajillion different, well, not a gajillion, but there's a lot of variety I can do with an L-sit rather than just a static isometric hold L-sit, which I actually should be doing more of. I don't really do that much. But like you saw, windshield wipers, I can do flutter kicks in an L-sit. I can do 1 foot out, or 1 leg out, 1 leg in kind of thing. That'd be actually really hard. I could even do more of a V-up. That would be extremely hard. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the most common moves a gymnast would do, and there's a reason why. It speaks volumes to total upper body strength and even lower body mobility. And it's just an overall great way to really strengthen the core. And I've certainly found a lot of benefits from doing it over the past several years, and it's something I really want to get back into. Plus, it's a great secondary exercise to build upon when I get back into it. It's been a while now, but getting back into a goal of mine, which has been a long time coming, of being able to do handstands, and one day going from essentially a grounded position, so basically like a push-up position, and without really using momentum, being able to hold my body weight and go into like a frog position, kind of what you do in yoga. And that's something you'd have to look up online to, if you don't really know what it is. Go from a frog position all the way up to feet up in the air, so it's really total body control there. So that's something that's only gonna benefit me in the long run as far as me being able to perform that movement. So with that said, I'm actually gonna stop in here real quick to 7-Eleven, and I'm gonna get a protein shake for the after workout sugars, and then also a little protein. And there's really not that much sugar in the protein shake I buy, so that's a big positive there. So yeah, stay tuned, staying productive, getting at it, more to follow.